Alright, guys, this is the next episode in the Race to 2000. Let me get the game pulled up here. Alright, so last game was a win. Current rating is 1543. I dropped 20 points a couple games ago because I lost internet connection, so that was frustrating. But it's okay. We'll get back to it. Just real quick, I was going to see if there's like a way to search for players closer to my rating range. 1451's okay. Alright, so I've been working on the Accelerated Dragon, or Hyper Accelerated Dragon actually. He plays a Smith Mora. You know, okay, he doesn't play the Smith Mora. He plays it with the Queen. Usually they play pawn to c3 there. I'm going to play d3 or d6. Plays bishop there. Wonder if he's going to just take that. I think this is just simple. I just want to break the pin. Just develop the knight, hitting the pawn on a4 or e4. Okay, he probably wants to castle. Now, do I want to put my bishop on the long diagonal? I just have to look out for e5. There, e5 takes with the knight. He's got a lot of pressure. I think I want to play a6 and clarify his intentions with that bishop. Okay. I'm thinking of b5, just gaining space over there and hitting the bishop again. Because I don't like the looks of e5 with his knight coming in. If I take on e5, I don't like this. He's hitting my bishop. I don't think there's any threats there, but it's just a lot of pressure. If I play b5, that relieves some of the pressure. So I think I will play b5. The other thing I don't like, I guess that's okay. I was going to say I can't bring my knight to d7. So my intentions with this was to play e6 and develop my bishop to e7. Okay, I like that move because now that gives me time to develop my bishop and get castled. I know my weakness in this position is going to be my d6 pawn. Eventually I'd like to push it to d5 and get rid of it. Yeah, so he immediately goes in for that. I can play e5 here. Can I play d5? Let's see. Takes. Yeah, I'll have 1, 2 defenders, and he has 3 attackers, so that won't work. I can undevelop my bishop, but that does not look good. I guess if he takes, yeah, it just doesn't work. Doesn't look good. Can I just castle here and say that I have compensation? I don't think so, because he's ready to castle as well. I can just play queen to c2. That defends the pawn, but it puts me in a pin. But I think I should be okay for now. We'll see. I don't see any way he could take advantage of that pin, so I'm going to go ahead and play this. If I have to, I can always play e5. The only bad thing about playing e5 in these Sicilians is the d5 square becomes extremely weak. And they usually plop a knight in there, and it's usually bad news. Okay, so this is clear intention of wanting to play e5, so I have to decide whether I want to allow it, because now he's got 3 protectors of that square, and he can play it. So let's see what happens if he plays e5. Takes, he'll probably take with the knight. I take with the knight, he takes with the bishop, hitting my queen. I've got to move the queen. Also, the queen has eyes on my light squared bishop, so I would have to play something like queen b2, queen c1, neither of which look good. Or, let's see, I could play e5 and block everything up. Also, there's knight to ace5 with the idea of coming here. Also, if he plays e5, maybe I just move the knight now and get it out of danger. I could play knight here, hitting the bishop. That's the move I'm starting to like. I'm in fact going to play this. I don't like that because here, bishop moves somewhere, probably here, then this square is just eternally weak, and my queen would get hit if you ever got a knight in there, so it's not good. I'm going to go ahead and play this move. I don't know if it's right. I'm not super thrilled about playing it. I don't know what's going to happen after this here either. I'm sure he'll save his bishop. Maybe I want to play here. Bishop to f3. But then my knight's kind of just stranded and trapped actually, so can't do that. Maybe I want to be playing knight here, allowing him to take so I can trade like this. Maybe I should have played that last move. That would have prevented e5. Yeah, the thing I don't like about this move is what do I do next? Yeah. Because now he can just move the knight. I can play b4. Takes, opens up his rook. Don't like it. What I'm thinking is playing g6 and rerouting the knight this way. That way I can put my bishop on this long diagonal. In the meantime, when he plays e5, I'm going to push forward. Only thing is bishop here, rook over somewhere. And I can come back and trade the bishop if I want, I guess. Yeah, this plan smells fishy to me. Real fishy. But I'm having trouble finding a clear plan, and he's got easy plans. He knows he's going to push this pawn, and I don't see a good way to react to that. Everything I saw happening didn't look good for me, so I'm going to try this weird plan, and hopefully I can out-tactic him. That's my goal. Knight here. The reason I want to play knight here is for when e5 comes, I can put my knight on f5. That's my long-term plan with that knight. So he wants to trade knights. I like to see this move. Because one, there's no threat. If I take, he's just going to take with a dark squared bishop. I'm thinking of playing d5 now, because he kind of blocked off the connection of the queen, but he can always just move the queen. I'm thinking rook here, because I don't see any threats. That gets my rook off of that f1 square, because I'm having a feeling the bishop's going to come in here eventually. You know, I would like if he took my knight, because I have that. Next, I want to put my bishop here. So, I don't know, maybe this plan wasn't too good, but maybe he didn't respond in the right way. Okay, so now the move knight to e5 is screaming to be played. Where does he move his queen? There's not really a good spot over here to put his queen. I like this move a lot. I probably should have thought about other moves, but that move was so attractive that I just had to play it. Usually in the Sicilian, you play on the queen side as black. But my pieces are kind of just all over the place. Yeah, so he goes queen back. Now I'm looking for a good move here. I can fianchetto my bishop. I can play d5, but it doesn't look too appetizing. f4 or f5 looks bad. Maybe I'll play bishop f1, f8 I meant. He wants f4 now. Hang on, that's clear. So when he plays f4, my knight's going back, most likely. That's okay. I'm expecting that. I'm still keeping an eye on this move. So he just goes back to trade knights. I may even let him just trade that. Or I could just take, put his queen back, play here. It doesn't look good. Yeah, I'm thinking bishop here now, putting pressure on this pawn. I am going to allow him to double my pawns. I know it's double pawns, but I don't see an easy way for him to attack it. This kind of opens up some lines for my pieces. My bishop now has scope down this diagonal, and if I need to, I can pop it here to defend. Not sure what my rook's doing on c8 any longer, but I see an easy move to attack the pawn. I don't see any threats with his last move. So I'm going to attack that pawn. He can move his dark squared bishop to defend. I've also got knight coming back here to put more pressure on the pawn. So he just defends it like that. Okay, so that pawn is now no longer going to be a target. So I'm thinking here now. Takes, put the pin on the knight. I can now put my bishop here. Yeah, this looks good. This seems to give me a lot of activity. And if he takes, I mess up his pawn structure. And yeah. Bishop to this square looks good. If he moves the knight, that activates that bishop a little bit. He takes. So now his knight's pinned. I'm really liking the looks of this, getting both of my bishops activated. And then I will be threatening to take a pawn. I can also defend this bishop really easily with that move. So all this is looking a lot better than it was about 5 moves ago. My pieces finally have some activity, and I don't see how he can create threats either, so that's good. Yeah, I'm not sure about this whole plan with the knight on h5. This is like my only bad piece now. It's literally doing nothing over there. It's just looking at useless squares. So he plays there. His intention is probably to come in, but he can't do that because my knight's defending. I now really like this move. So maybe this knight does have a purpose now. Oh, he can take my bishop with the knight if I do that. Alright, so now I'm wondering if I take and takes, if that's going to weaken my dark squares too much. I think it is. I want to do a rook. Oh, I can't trade rooks now. Yeah, the only problem, I can give a check. That doesn't really help me, I don't think. I can play this. Hmm. I like the idea of busting open, pushing this pawn, and then he'll have some weaknesses over here. I'm wondering if he's going to play this. Oh, he does play that. The only reason I didn't think he'd play that is because it weakens his king drastically. I have this square for my knight now. I think I'll play it. And he takes immediately. I like to see that. I know I've got a weakness on f4 now, but I can always defend it here. If he comes in, I just want to trade that. Also, his knight's pinned at the moment. So, yeah, if I have to, I can just defend that pawn with the e push, e5 push. And I'm wondering if this is a good move because his knight is pinned. So there he takes, I take the rook. What does he do? I don't know, maybe move his knight like here. Yeah, no, that doesn't look good. I'm down on time, about 3.5 minutes. I don't see any threats that he can create other than queen to d2. But then I play here, and now he's in a pretty nasty pin slash skewer if he does that. And then I will be playing this move if he does that. I can always bring my bishop back to defend my king if I need to. So he plays there, which really, really makes me want to play this move. That's the first move that jumps out to me. He can take it, actually. Take that back. He can just take, so that doesn't work. What about here? It's the queen. He takes with the knight. I just take. Let's see, if I take the knight, he takes with the queen. I'm taking this pawn. Don't really want to give away my dark squared bishop though, unless it's for like something really nice. Let's look at this move again. It's the queen. I assume the queen has to move back somewhere. That also opens up my rook. And my intention would be to trade off that bishop. That bishop's not very good, but it will double his pawns. Those look pretty weak. I think I'm going to go for this. Yeah, just did a real quick blunder check. Yeah, so my whole idea after he moves the queen is to just take the bishop. The thing I like about taking that bishop is after I take the bishop, it doesn't weaken me so much by pushing that pawn. He won't have this diagonal. Queen back somewhere, maybe here or there. So yeah, here's my intention. I do want to blunder check and just take that one off. Now I can win a pawn with this check. And then here. I like that. Another idea is bishop here. Okay, so takes here. Not worried about that? I don't think so, because I'm threatening a pawn with a check. I expose myself to discoveries with the knight, but I can just always take. No worries there. Again, this square looks really nice for the bishop. I just gotta watch out for his knight finding a way in. He can also put his rook over here. So he just defends it like that. I can win a tempo on the queen. That offers a trade of 2 rooks for the queen, though. Not sure if I want that yet. There's also just this move. And he can't kick that very easily. The only thing I don't like about that is I kind of abandoned my king for a little bit. And there's also now just this move. It does allow the knight in though, so I don't want to play that yet. I'm not exactly sure what to play. So I think I'll just put my bishop on this really nice square. Also, I have this. I'm always looking at this if he moves the rook. I'm looking for tactics involving this at any time, but nothing works right now. Yeah, I didn't really have a clear follow-up plan to that. So he wants a queen trade. Do I want a queen trade though? Takes with the rook. Can rook here. He's got his second rank defended really nicely. If I don't trade queens, what am I doing? I don't like his knight coming in. Maybe here. Takes, doesn't look good. Hold on. No, doesn't work. I was thinking sacrifice the queen, rook here. Say he moves the queen, then I have check, but he's got this square. And I don't see anything past that. That's something to keep in mind. I'm just going to take the queen. I'm getting low on time. I was looking for something better, but just didn't see it. Now I want to trade off these rooks. One pair of rooks. I want to trade. Whoa. Now I want to go back here. And eventually I might have that move. It's also an end game, so bringing the king closer to the center is a good idea. Also got to look at my pawn breaks. I am up one pawn. Alright, so where does he want? He wants to go here or here to get rid of that bishop. I'm not really worried about that though. I'm just going to attack the pawn. Yeah. Alright, so let's see. Takes. Takes. If he takes, I take that pawn. I've also just got this move here. He's hitting this pawn also though. I missed that he was hitting the pawn on a5 in this. So that's something. Here, takes. I still take though. Yeah, this looks okay. I'm starting to think this isn't as good because, yeah, when he takes, take with the bishop, keep the rooks on. Because now I've got to find some pawn breaks. Let's just bring the bishop all the way back. I need to bring my king up now. This game, so the end games are definitely my weakness. I'm not great at them. Probably for two reasons. I just think end games are more boring, and I usually take up most of my time. So by the time I'm at the end game, I don't have any time to think either. So he's moving forward. I can activate my rook. I'm worried this is starting to look more like a draw now. I'm just going to work my king towards the center. There's no threat here. My biggest problem now is his pawns are all on light squares. And I have a dark square bishop. So this is looking like it's probably a draw. But I'm still going to try. People still blunder. He's going to want to bring his knight somewhere. So the king comes up. I guess he's wanting to march in. I'm okay with that because I'm going to bring my rook in. Attack that pawn. He doesn't know what to do. He's attacking my rook. Let's pin that knight. Now I don't want to trade rooks. That would be a blunder. Let's not do that. Now that gives him a open line. Let's just move back. This allows me to have a check if I want it. Doesn't really do anything. It's kind of just a waiting move. I'm just basically looking for a blunder now. That's what I'm hoping for. Okay, so this move I don't see any threats other than him wanting to trade rooks. I can give a check. I like this to start. He may block with the rook. If he does that, I'm coming back here. And the main thing I gotta watch out for is knight forts with my rook and king. Since my king is getting closer, it gets more and more dangerous for me. I'm really low on time also, so I've got to start moving fast. Now I'm threatening this check. I don't know if it's a threat, but I have it if I want it. Yeah, so I've got to start playing a lot faster now. I'm almost down to a minute. He's got 4. I'm thinking of ways he can be active, ways he can create threats. He can go here, but I do give the check if he goes there. Man, if I can win that f3 pawn somehow, that's how I'm going to win the game. The good thing is he's not really doing anything. He's not creating threats. He's not targeting my f4 pawn or trying to get on the second rank or anything with his rook. So it's given me time to kind of come up with like a winning plan. And then also I have to keep creating threats, or I'll give him time to figure out what he needs to do. It says he's disconnected. I hope he doesn't stay disconnected. I really wanted to finish out this game. It says it's going to auto resign in a minute and 15 seconds if he doesn't reconnect. I mean, it's not really how I wanted to win the game, but I will take it if I get it. My opponent is from India, so maybe he's got bad internet. Maybe his computer died. It happened to me. Yeah, it's looking like he's gonna stay disconnected. He's got 20 seconds left. Oh, this is unfortunate. I really wanted to finish this game off. Yeah, I mean, I had some good ideas to check, bringing my rook here, attacking that pawn. That cuts his king off. He'd have to like find a way to defend with the rook. So back up to 1554. Let's real quickly look at the game review. This is a lot longer of a game than the previous ones. I'd really like to play a little bit shorter time control, like maybe a 10-5 or a 10-15. But every time that I play those, it like matches me up with like 900 rated players. So, okay, I'm having a bit of connection issues myself. Let me refresh. Okay. Let's look at the analysis real quick. Sorry, guys. I'm going to go ahead and look at the game review. Okay, finally loaded. Wow. So I didn't have any big blunders. I had 8 inaccuracies, 0 mistakes, and 0 blunders. So it was a pretty good game.